We are all set for qualifying for the FIA Formula 3 Championship here in Budapest, Hungary. Welcome along to a half-an-hour session where anything could happen. We're a few moments away from the green light going on as well. You can see Omi and Tom are standing by, ready to go as well in what could be an interesting session. 20% chance of rain coming up. We've got a couple of seconds. So, Omi, what do you think we're going to see in this one?
Hopefully, laps at the limit, and hopefully a qualifying that will go to the end.
As well, and yeah, I'm thinking the same thing here, Tom. We want that to go to the end, and 20% chance of rain means it could happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. Hopefully, we'll see some drivers really pushing it to the limits, particularly Rafa Kamara, who's going for another Aramco pole position, another couple of points closer to sealing the title, which he could clinch this weekend.
Yep, he really could. Only got to be more than 40 points ahead of me, so it's anything up for grabs, really, isn't it?
It really is. It could be really close come our season finale, if it even goes to the season finale, but it could be decided this weekend here in Budapest.
All set to go then for 30 minutes of action. Let's cross over and join our colleagues at the World Feed, ready to go for this qualifying session. Oh, they are slightly delayed on here. I'm being informed as well. That's a bit of a surprise. So we'll keep rambling for 30 seconds as well. What do you think of Brandon Badar taking Ugo Guchuru's livery as well? Omi, could that get him a couple of tenths per second?
I mean, it's worked for Ugo, so who knows how it could work for Brando as well. Let's keep an eye on it. I think it'll be very fascinating to see how it's all going to play out as well between those two drivers. But yeah, we described it in practice. It's an approach they're starting to take. But who knows whether it's going to be an approach that will work for Brando.
Okay, we're being told there's a fault with the signal from FOM. The green light should go on in around about 60 seconds time. So luckily we're on air in order to bring you the action as well, and hopefully we'll get the World Feed intro shortly as the field is ready to go at the exit of the pit lane as well, which is going to be great news. Watch out as well for that reverse grid pole position to decide tomorrow's sprint race strategy. We'll talk you all through it as we go as well. Tom, well, we'll have to come to you for this one as well. What do you think? Who's your pick or pole for this one?
It's difficult for me to look past Kamara at the moment.
Yeah, I think Kamara is going to be up there as well, right? What about you, Omi?
Kamara's definitely going to be up there. He's always the driver to watch, and he is always able to just rack up these Aramco pole positions. So Kamara, a driver you cannot look past, and a driver who, if in a championship like Formula 3, if you want to bet for someone to take pole, then he's definitely a good pick, I think it is fair to say.
Here we go then. It's qualifying for the Formula 3 Hungarian Grand Prix. Myself, Omi and Tom up in the commentary box for you. Let's finally join the international feed. We join midway through, so as the green light goes on to start the session, that's brilliant work from Sky there. So let's do it ourselves, shall we? Green light is on and qualifying is underway for the Formula 3 session here at Hungaroring in Budapest. It's round 9 of the championship, and qualifying around this legendary circuit is going to be quite a challenge with a 20% chance of rain in the air. Doesn't mean that it will rain, it just means that there's a high option of it raining as well. As I said, it's 2.738 miles long. That's a total of 14 corners. DRS down the start-finish straight and in towards turn 2. And in terms of tyre compounds, we've only got the medium here for Formula 3. And the pole time to beat, a 133.935. But we do have a brand new car this year. High downforce, medium in the brake and tyre usage, and a lowish fuel consumption on the scale. Well, we are underway for this session. The green light has gone on. Not sure what happened with Sky there, where the international feed seemed to have gone down. Zakazita's been noted for an unsafe release in the pit lane. There's Hugo Gachuru. Yeah, so not great there, Omi, but we are going. We have pictures for the session, so I suppose better than nothing, eh? And we've got our wonderful graphics. We get to do it ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. As I was just getting a random phone call coming in today, as per normal. So that's why I was momentarily out of sight. But yes, Formula 3 qualifying. All distractions out of the way. We've got 30 of some of the best young drivers in the world out there around this Hungaroring, attacking around what is a challenging circuit. And even if it's Formula 3, even if the races can get chaotic, it is not one of those circuits, JB, where you want to mess up qualifying.
No, it is not, and we know firsthand, don't we, Tom, as well? If you make a mistake around this place as well, we've seen it in past years in Formula 1. It's a circuit that bites, and you struggle to get back in. If you start outside the top 15, pretty much that's your weekend done.
Well, the weather could save that. If you if you've got good wet weather skills, you know, the rain could be your last minute saviour. As we see the field continue on, they need to prep laps really to get these tyres into the optimal window, because these F3 teams don't have tyre blankets unlike Formula 1 do, hence why the drivers have to generate the tyre temperature themselves. We're going to see a replay of a potential unsafe release.
They did, yeah. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I think the Dams crew should have known better than that, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a fine coming in the way of them. I think Sakazet will get away with it from his end, but the Dams team won't.
I'm with you on that one as well. It was still straight into it. Dams will probably have a monetary fine, as this is now a new look here on the start-finish straight. The racing line and every grid slot on the racing line is now covered by the main grandstand. So the only thing that's really in daylight is the ulterior, the old side of the grid, the even actually, the 2, 4, 6, 8 down the grid. So, Tom, if it does rain on Sunday, is that going to cause a problem for maybe standing starts if one side of the grid is wetter than the other?
Quite possibly, but I'm more worried about whether the event will happen at all, because it didn't for the Formula 3 event last weekend at Spa. And if Rafa Kamara gets pole position, and let's say he all of a sudden wins the sprint race, he probably won't, but let's just say he gathers enough points where he could lead the championship by at least 40 points after tomorrow's sprint race over everyone else. If Sunday's race gets cancelled, then he's champion without a wheel being turned, pretty much.
That's the horrible side effect that could happen. Let's have a word though with Rafa Kamara and see what he says about that matter.
Leader had to say about that yesterday.
Of course, they need to let's say to close the gap, but on my head, I'm just thinking on myself, focusing, do a good job with the team, like every weekend, and I mean, of course, you start thinking a bit more about the championship. It's just only 2 rounds left after this one, just Monza, but I will just focus on the things that I can do the best way, do my best, and we see where we will end up.
Yeah, see where it ends up indeed, Omi, as well, because as Tom said, could be champion without even having to turn the wheel. So it's all up in the air what we're going to have on Sunday. So is the sprint race more important than the feature, as Ugachuru goes through a bit of smoke from his teammates just ahead of him? Would you prioritise the sprint this weekend with knowing that Sunday's going to be wet?
Well, I mean, it's still Hungaroring, so, you know, there's every chance that we still could go racing as well. So it's a balance between getting the dry setup or the wet setup. It's quite a hard one to pick because, yeah, there's of course, the Grand Prix of Formula 3, it's going to be wet most likely. But then comes the question, will it even happen? So it's quite fascinating, and it's quite the risk, and it's quite the gamble, really, all the 10 teams have to take for their different drivers, depending on what they all want to do. It's a bit of those tricky type of weekends for these Formula 3 teams to try and maximise as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it is all going to play out, as Marin Angeli ran slightly wide in the background of the exit of turn number 11. We're focused, if you are synced up with us at the moment, on with Hugo Igachukwu, the Prema driver, coming and arriving down to the 14th and final corner on the circuit, and then it's put to the floor to try see what lap time you've managed.
Is this going to be provisional poles? No, Leon goes over. Igachukwu takes a 1:33.436. Marion Jelly up into fourth as James Hedder goes up as well. Callum Vosin now takes second position as well. So improvements coming. Big twitch though, Tom from Kamara in that 6-7 chicane we're talking about a lot in practice one for Formula One, but a lot more grip laid down this morning. Kamara's struggling out there.
Yeah, he is, and he's on the medium compound side compared to what he was used to this morning when he was on the hard. But he's going through sector 2 now, marginally quicker than Igachukwu by this stage of the lap. Can he put the lap up together in the final sector of the tour and put himself in the fray for pole position and get a good banker lap in on this first run? We'll see soon enough. Stromstead is going over the line just ahead of him, so we've got two drivers heading over the line almost in sympathy. Stromstead goes fastest, Kamara goes only P3.
Yeah, that middle sector cost him a lot of time there, unfortunately, as well, as Tuka Tappanen moves up into fourth position ahead of Kamara. James Wharton goes up as well into sixth position. Got a lot of Jameses in the field as well. It's quite unusual to have two of the same name, and actually, you know, an interesting name. That's just James. Used to quite more spectacular names, aren't we, in Formula 3? Okay, we've got two Jameses. It's unusual. As, Bruno Delpino's lap time has been cancelled by the stewards as well. And he's dropped down into, well, he's outside the points paying positions now as well. Kamara too. Kamara's lap time's been deleted as well. So Rafa Kamara, 25th at the moment, has gone wide. There was the twitch we saw. Mari Boyer, also no time set, being deleted by the stewards. And now he's going to have to go again. Oh, well, it's all go now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So, pressure on. You may get 30 minutes, but believe me, if you become a bit too relaxed in this session, you could all see it fall apart. You've got time, but then that is when mistakes start creeping in, one by one by one. So it's important to get back on momentum, forget what's just happened, and put full focus on trying to get a lap time in. That's why banker laps in Formula 3 can be very important, because near the end of the session, you'll be pushing even harder to try and find every thousandth. And that's where the higher risk of mistakes come in. Let's hear from Kamara.
There's too much understeer everywhere.
Clearly not.
Understeer everywhere. He said on the radio. So take a look at the sector times as the field starts to come into the pit lane. Not really surprised about that around this track though. We'll see what it will be. So Kamara boxes with no time set. Bruno Delpino as well. So, okay, first run's done. Tom,
Yeah.
anyone going to go good?
I mean, we're still yet to see what the Campos cars can do. I mean, they seem to be going out in the traffic, or in the gap in the traffic, I should say, for the Campos cars, which is something we do see sometimes in Formula 3, because it is a 30-car field, so the last thing you want is sending your cars out whilst most of the field are out there and potentially getting held up. Then there we see Mari Boyer, who's going to go over the line to begin his first timed lap. Has he timed his run perfectly here? Well, you can see Nicholas Solov behind him has gone over the line, as has in the Puversack. So we'll see how Boyer gets on this other man who a few weeks ago was announced as Aston Martin's first junior academy driver. Hopefully they'll add a few more in there, along with, I think Jack Crawford is technically in there as well, but it was recently launched, this new Junior Academy program that Aston Martin had put together. So we'll see if Mari Boyer can please them with a strong performance this weekend. He is still mathematically in the hunt, but he needs others to fail, most particularly Rafa Kamara, to keep Boyer in a realistic fight heading into Monza in September.
Into the braking zone for 6 and 7. Omi, you back with us? Is it all working now? Hello.
Hello.
A little bit better, I'd say.
You want it louder?
If you got it.
Okay, fine, I'll make it louder then.
Boyer just a little bit wide at the exit. He's still up, though, by 2.5 tenths of a second, Tom. This is a stunning lap time. You're right. Going out of kilter's working for him.
Very, very nice lap put together by Boyer. It's quicker than what Solov has produced, and Inter Puvacek, who finished second in the sprint race here last year behind Nikita Bedrim when he was an AIX racing driver. Boyer, meanwhile, heading over the line, and followed by the two drivers who won last year's races. Nicholas Solov, who's going to head over the line behind. Boyer goes P3, Inter Puvacek goes P2.
Wow, he might be on for a repeat. Omi as well. It's a stunning lap time from Tanasipov to go second fastest, and it's a 1-2 now for the team.
Well, sometimes going different is exactly what you need, and that is Campos heading to the front. And I mean, if it is a Formula 3 dramatic session like we're used to, then that could be absolutely game on. Right, we're looking for Kamara, and we're looking for the moment that saw his lap time deleted on the exit of turn 4. It was out wide, all out of shape, and he can say goodbye to that time. It was a wiggle anyway on the exit, so it wasn't going to be anything spectacular for the Brazilian driver. So he'll put that behind him, and he'll go on once again as the rest of the field come back out, and we've got a group of Formula 3 cars out there on the circuit once again. Let's just hope they don't get as chaotic as they did at Belgium. But the slipstream isn't as special around this place, let's just say. So it's a bit more calmer, hopefully.
It's Monza where we're really going to be like holding it back, but they have separated the groups now as well. We've got the Group A and the Group B format for Monza after a couple of years ago when they cancelled qualifying. But saying that, Tom, they are getting a bit close to each other coming down towards turn 12.
Very close to him. They want to give themselves some space for when they do their runs here. They are out quite early, actually, thinking of it. But given the fact they've got 3 sets of mediums available for the weekend, they are prepared, in my book,
Team traffic management will be the key for a good quality, because here there's a lot of cars lining up before starting the lap. It's just such a mess. Normally there's a red flag in the last set when everyone's trying to put their best lap in. So it's going to be, again, down to luck, I would say, and good track positioning, which I think we don't have a benefit of being in the front of the pit lane for this weekend. For example, teams like Prema should do well in quali, starting a bit further up. But you know, we're just looking at alternative strategies that we can do, so we have some clean air on track. But yeah, that will be the key for quali. I know it's a track that should be hard to overtake, but we saw 2 years ago with a hard degging compound and a long race and a tough track for the tires. Like here, you can still make up places. So with medium tires, it will be really tough. So if it's dry, we should see an interesting race.
Interview came out of nowhere, but very much appreciated as well. Tom, I'll hand back to you if you haven't finished your point, as the track has fallen just a bit silent.
Yeah, well, they've got 3 sets of medium compound tyres for this weekend, along with the 1 set of the hards, which they are prepared, in my view, to take a few more risks with the medium, because it could well be a wet race on Sunday, and you're obviously going to need a set of the mediums, maybe even hards for that matter, because it's a longer distance of a race compared to what it'd be in the sprint race slightly. Hence why we've got the bigger chunk of points given out in the feature race compared to the sprint. It's going to be a mixture of games, I think, between these in terms of whether they are prepared to preserve a set of the mediums for the sprint race tomorrow, or whether they're willing to gamble and go for the hards.
Oh, Stenshaw! And is that Kamara going right around the outside?
No, it's Stromstead, I think.
Couldn't tell from the angle, but that was either side of one of the Rodin Motorsports as well. Yeah, it was Louis Sharp on the inside. That was a bit dangerous, and they are still backing up. But I agree, they've got the tyres, go for it. Because if it rains Sunday, we're fine, but Saturday, it's mainly going to be it's going to be a hard tyre run, isn't it? Because you know how quick the degradation is here. Right, Omi, Stromstead on a lap time. Should be good around here. There's no reason why he shouldn't be eligible for pole position.
Yeah, a contender so many times, and he would have done this race in Freca last year as well. Would have Noah Stromstead. He's down by 1/10 of a second off the benchmark. That is Mary Boy. That is to the first sector, but to the second sector you can try and make it up but he's fighting away with the car on the exit there as he was wrestling away through 5, and now he's heading through 6 and 7. The chicane, use the curb on the exit, and then you throw it down into corner number 8 and 9 around this place. It's really, really tight as you try and keep your foot in while trying to make sure the car doesn't get away from you. We have seen so many times drivers fighting away with it and possibly losing time due to some twitches through the corners, and he has been able to make some time up because now he's only 2 thousandths away, and he's going to leave it all in the last sector to try and improve. But you've also got drivers like Leon going quicker, and watch Brandon Badoa as well.
Badoa over the line and fastest of all with a 1:32.891. The no livery is working for him. Over the line then comes Noah Stromstead. 4th position to 2nd place for the Trident. No Leon just behind. He's 2nd. 10,000. Wow. That's insane. 84 thousandths for Stromstead. Over the line goes Alessandro Augusti. He takes provisional pole position. Rafael Camara to 2nd. Benedibes into 10th. Charlie Verts looking good as Delpina goes over the line, and Charlie Verts takes it. Provisional pole position by 78 thousandths of a second. 1:32.737. Ugachiwa over the line in the Prima. Oh my God, he's 1,000 off the pace. Wonderful Formula 3 qualifying. Joe Z goes up into 11th, and Ergo reverse grid pole. This is amazing. Oh, and then goes Van Hopen. So puts Denshaw in there. I mean, this is mad.
Yeah, quite literally mad. Dominguez now goes to 12th, so that's now reverse grid pole. Throw that away, it now belongs to Central because Ramos has improved to 7th. It's all changing around, it's all great for lots of drivers. It's great for Mr. P30 right now. Marin Angeli fighting away with it through the chicane. Doesn't appear like it's been going his way at all this weekend. It hasn't been going his way this season, but especially not this weekend.
I mean, that was ridiculous. She said it name, and then 10 seconds later, it was just, different. And then second after second after second. Can't get even a pole position. So right now it's held by Tramnitz in P12. Then we get Verts on provisional pole. My boy now stands P11. Badoa pit. So now we go for another run here, Tom. Those who are pitting out of the kilter, going against everybody else. This is the smart decision. That seems to be working.
Yeah, Campus's gamble has paid off massively by going out in the gap in the traffic. See them up there. They have dropped down considerably, but in the change of evolution with the circuit and all the drivers going quicker and quicker and quicker, this is their chance to really unleash their pace. Prema seems to be coming alive at last with all 3 of their cars inside the top 7. And Charlie Verts, what a lap he's managed to put together there.
Thousandths to Ugachiwa, 78 thousandths to Alessandro Augusti. TFO now up in 4th by 89 thousandths of a second. The top 4 by less than a tenth is just mad. Campos hoping and praying that their gamble is working out there now as well. Here's Solov. Oh.
A reminder that Mario Boya was originally P1, and then after all of that one, he's been passed by 10 other drivers. I would not be surprised if Central also just basically puts in a request for Monza and be like, oh yeah, can I please go to the carbon livery as well? Look what's going on. All the remaining McLaren juniors, both at Prema, have taken it up, and they're absolutely flying. So I wonder whether Central would also like that possibility as well to come his way. And maybe even Alex Dunn considers it in Formula 2. Who knows? It could get him something.
That's not a great look from McLaren that we have to take the paint off in order to go faster. But believe it or not, the difference is around about, what, 1,000th, 2,000th of a second. Ugachiwa is 1,000th off of Verts with no paint on. It kind of shows, doesn't it, Tom, exactly how similar they are as Boyer starts a lap time.
Yeah, really good lap time what Ugachiwa was able to put together. Now it's down to the Campos drivers of Mario Boyer, Nicolas Solov and Taz Infopuvasaka, who are going for potentially pole position if they can really hook this up in the final stages of the session. Boyer will go through sector 1. Is he quicker than Verts through sector 1 by 2 tenths? He is, yes. So very, very good sector time there from the Spanish driver, Mario Boyer. It was a 33.5 in sector 1. Infopuvasaka was a 33.6, and Solov's is a 33.6. So Boyer is up by a tenth over the 2 behind him as he heads through turns 6 and 7. no such trouble through there. We did see a number of drivers put a wheel on the grass on the exit of turn 7 there in practice this morning. And Boyer is heading through. We've got a note for Callum Voice for failing to follow race director instructions. Don't know specifically what that is for, but we'll find out later. But Boyer is a little down in sector 2.
Yeah, so Solov, So's interference out. They lost time. That middle sector not ramping up they thought it would do. So causing a few problems. Boyer into the last corner. Flicks the car in. Gently pushes the throttle down. Come on, what's the gambit with 8 minutes to go? Over the line with the DRS. It's still fastest. 1:32.653. Tenassimont Bruvazak goes 8th. Nicholas Solov goes 15. It was almost a perfect 1:8.16 between them, but it's a 1:8.15 on the board. So Boyer on provisional pole by fractions again.
Yeah.
Solov will be very disappointed with that.
He will. And any slim chances of the title beginning to fade away. Campos go different. Campos getting their reward for the moment. Mari Boyer, the Spanish driver backed by Aston Martin, absolutely flying at the moment. And of course the other drivers will get their chance. They will get the right to respond. But Campos are making this work at the moment with one driver. Into Pruvazak's also just being in the mix once again in the sprint race, possibly come tomorrow's race as it stands. But yeah, Solov, it's not going his way at all, and he needs to turn it around, or a Formula 3 chance of a title this year could be fading away for him.
Tensions are up, aren't they, Tom, as well, as we now begin the second runners as well to go out there for their second laps.
Yeah, this is a crucial point now for these drivers, and Solov, Boyer and Pruvazak. Now, are they willing to go again, or will they decide to pit in? And they've got another set of that medium compound if they want to use it, if they're feeling ambitious, but it's just track position. That's the big thing about this circuit, is track position.
Always key here, always a factor to have to try and remember, as Boyer still on top as they now enter the pit lane to the Campos. Van Hopen's still in there as well, actually, so he isn't left yet. He's going to try and go out when the guys on their cooldown out in the null box, and he'll have a clear run. So watch out for Lawrence Van Hopen in 12th position. Right, what's everybody else's secondary laps? I'm not expecting them to be too quick because they've still got to do their banker laps on new tyres. Red Bull livery outside the Red Bull team. That's worked out quite nicely as well, hasn't it? For Nicholas Solov. Kamara still there now on the back of the circuit. He desperately needs a pole position. Desperately needs to keep the traction in. I don't know, Emmy. What would you say? Yes, no, maybe?
Well, I mean, every driver would love a pole. Kamara would just love another one, and it would be special for someone else to take it as well. Mari Boyer at the front, as I mentioned, but it is so close between Charlie Words and Ugo Gachuku. How much would Ugo Gachuku want it as well? He would absolutely love it. The Macau winner from last year, he would love to go and get this pole position. And I mean, if Brandon Bedoya takes it, then wow, absolutely brilliant. Extraordinary stuff for him. It was Formula 3 that let us down, basically, 1 week ago, in terms of spoiling the 3 McLaren trios of pole position. We got a McLaren pole in F2 and in the F1 sprint qualifying, and it was Formula 3 that let us down that day. So let's see whether they can start it off today and do it in style as the teammates get close together.
Yeah, Ugo wants to go, and unfortunately Bedoya is just holding him back. And look, but now Ugo's been passed through by Tim Traminitz, and he's also been passed by one of the AIXs coming out the last corner. Couldn't tell who that was from our TV angle we've got, but this is now just getting a bit ridiculous as we start the lap down towards turn number 1. Heavy on the brakes. No lockups, please. See, oh, and there's a car coming out of the pit lane. That's Lawrence Van Hopen.
Yeah.
Right in the way, Tom, as well, the fast laps.
Yeah. Hopefully that won't interfere in any of the laps for the drivers who are on circuit. I wonder if the Campos cars are going to head back out before the session is over. Tim Chumnitz is on a lap himself. He needs a good one here, does Tim, after a disappointing time of it in Belgium. And he needs the best lap of his season, and ideally put it on pole position if he can, just to reduce the arrears between him and Rafa Kamara. The driver who's sitting in 12th place and a reverse grid pole is Lawrence van Herpen, who's 1 place ahead of Tramnitz.
He's gone out now. Maybe he's gone out now to try and stop everybody improving their lap times in order for him to start on reverse grid pole position. Tramnitz is 64 thousandths of a second down right now on Boyer's time. Brad Benedives is up with personal best in sectors 1 and 2 as well for 19th. It's going to be very close over the line to see if this is going to be a change at the front. It's Murray Boyer, who has now left the track, I can tell you. So has Tanas Blanche, Pruvazak and Nicolas Sola. Badoa goes up into 4th position. Tramnitz goes 10th. Benedives goes up into 10th as well. So Tramnitz down into 11th position on that first run. Roman Belinsky up into 14th position as he comes across the line. And that is a very slow moving Charlie Wirtz, who's letting everyone else go through, as I believe he has lost out on a lap time somewhere around the middle sector.
Yeah, he's backed out of it on this one, has Wirtz, so he'll want to go again. But the trouble is, when you're allowing cars like that through, you're losing tyre temperature, which you want to generate back. So Wirtz has got some work to do. As is Teofil Niles running in 6th place, he's coming towards Sector 2 with his latest effort. What can the Frenchman do with this one? How is he? He's got a horrible amount of traffic as he's having to navigate. He's up by Sector 2. He's lost time in the middle sector though, alone. But can he keep it together? Well, he's missed the apex slightly at turn 12. One of the Campos cars gets out of the way, and now he's going to have to really, really dig deep here. He'll get over the line with an improvement, but is it good enough to keep him even inside the top 12 by the end of the session?
Teofil Niles over the line then from 7th position and moves up into 3rd by 11 thousandths. But Tuukka Tappinen has taken provisional pole by, guess what, 1,000th of a second. 132.652. This is unbelievable. The top 6 separated by 86 thousandths of a second.
Wow, we've got 28 cars inside 1 second of each other. Or maybe even like that under 9/10. We just need Johnson and Marin Angeli to try and get in there as well, and then it will be the whole field separated by a second. Extraordinary stuff with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Who else is going to respond? It's currently the Ferrari back driver Tuukka Tappinen, the Flying Finn at the front.
This is Formula 3 like we've never seen it before. They are completely in line with each other. You can't separate them. This is fantastically close, and we've still got another lap to go, Tom.
Yep, and Gerard Xu, who's sitting in 3rd place, he has yet to score this season so far, has the Chinese driver, and he's got a good chance with where he is at with place, which would be 10th position on the grid for the sprint race, but 3rd for the feature. Maraboya, not too bad of a lap that he posted earlier, but he's going to have one more go at it once he gets over the line. I think he, Solov, and Inda Puvacek will have one more go at it.
Here we see Tramnitz up to turn 4, rumble strips and all. First sector is down on a personal best, so this is not going to be good. He slides coming out of 5. And into the pit lane comes James Headley. Oh, he's running wide though, as Tramnitz. So yeah, I think that might be it. Okachiwa's in the box. So is Badoa. Benedives, Stenchel, they're all locked into their places now. Gerard Z comes in as well from 3rd position. What a run he's had. Highest qualifying in the air for Gerard. What a great run that's going to be. But reverse grid pole position currently belonging to Tanasapol and to Rivazak. And Tramnitz Omi sliding everywhere as the flag comes out.
Yep, checkered flag is flying. Know what Team Tramnitz need. The Red Bull Junior needs to go all in. Meanwhile, Kamara's going to be pushing as well further back as he tries to improve the driver that's currently in 10th position. Here's Tramnitz, yellow sector 1, yellow sector 2. Let's see what he can do.
I think his tyres have gone as he comes over the line as well to take the checkered flag that's out. Stays in P17. That is going to be a very bad race, but look at Kamara. He's in 10th at the moment, but the fastest first sector of anybody that I believe got taken away, and I can't see. Murray Boyer, first sector. 33.5. He's going to take it to Tuukka Tappinen, who is on provisional pole position. So it's a battle between Kamara and Boyer for pole position, and 3 valuable points here, Tom, as they make their way through turn 12.
A brilliant lap so far for Kamara, but not as good as Boyer, who was on a 33.5 through set to 1. Kamara with a 33.5, so it's the mail between these two, but we'll need to see what's going on with Nicholas Solov in a moment as well. It doesn't seem to be like he's on that good of a lap as far as we know. It's only a 33.7. Solov is not on a very good lap by any means. Kamara, meanwhile, the championship leader, is gunning for pole position and for that Aramco pole position award. Is he doing enough to get back on the head of the field ahead of Tuka Tappinen? Over the line he comes. Is it fastest? For now it is.
But Boyer's right behind and looking much faster and misses out by 8 thousandths. That's unbelievable! Solov doesn't make any mistake in the last corner, so it is by 8 thousandths of a second the championship leader has pole position for the feature race on Sunday. What a fantastic lap! A 1:32.510, smashing the previous record, and it is Boyer by 8 thousandths back. We have the top 27 separated by 7/10 of a second, and it is Tanasapol into Prupazak on reverse grid pole for tomorrow, the man who won a year ago that very race. What a lap, Omi. This is going to be a cracker.
You really, really will. But after all of that close fighting, it's back to Kamara. The Brazilian driver takes the Aramco pole position award and the 2 pole points that go with it as he looks to wrap up the championship by the end of this weekend. But fair play to Aston Martin's Mari Boyer. What a lap time that was, to only be 8 thousandths shy. That was a great Formula 3 qualifying.
Oh, one of the best we've seen in a long while. And Tom, I think tomorrow's race, that's going to be tasty with Tanasapol into Prupazak pole position, James Headley alongside. But then it's going to be absolutely crazy Sunday. If we have a wet race, Kamara and Boyer, Tappinen right there, Johan C's second row. If we have a standing start, turn 1's going to be chaos.
Yeah, and Kamara just needs to make sure he keeps his nose out of trouble, get off the line nicely. What a lap.
Where we are? Unfortunately, we are the last. Pole position. Well done, mate. Well done. Hey! Oh my God! Oh boy!
I love how they told him, we are P last. And then, no, we're pole position. That's fantastically funny. Tuka Tappinen in third, had it by a whisker. That was something else. Tappinen, as we said, Omi back in Macau. Star of the future, the young Finn.
He is, really, really is. I noticed that when I covered the Frecker round last year at Monza as well. He was really, really good in that. Fair play to Badora as well, 8th position. That is extraordinary stuff from him. And also from James Headley, a driver who has come in mid-season. And he's doing so well to be in 11th place. So congratulations to him. And he'll be on the front row. Let's hear from Boyer.
Mate. Yeah, I'm beating the last corner, man. I'm beating the last corner. Still good, man. We can fight. On Sunday, we fight.
Yeah, you heard.
I love how we get to see into the old pit paddock complexes we were on about for where the F2s and F3s are. This is Rafael Kamara into turn 1. I think it's just a replay of the golden lap. No lockups really coming through on that front of things. Stunning lap, stunning prospect ahead of us as well. Okay, we are 20 minutes away, so final thoughts please, chaps. Tom, what do you think of qualifying?
Really, really good. I thought we were going to get to see someone who has not had a pole position yet this season or ever in Formula 3 with the way Tuka Tappinen and Jared G were putting their laps together, or even Charlie Wirtz. But that sets things up nicely for both a good sprint race and possibly a wet feature race on Sunday.
Omi?
Gonna be fun. Cannot wait for the racing to come our way.
Yeah, and we're going to be in for a very interesting run as they come in as well for the races. To give you the coverage details as well for the 2 races. This is all in British summertime, by the way. 8:58, we are on air for the sprint race on Saturday. Sunday feature race at 7:23 a.m. British summertime. Omi, please take us through the results.
Well, it was Rafa Kamara who's taken the Aramco pole position award once again. Boyer in second, and then it's Tappinen, G. Well, a great result from him, along with Nalu's in 5th, then it's Charlie Watson 6th, Ugo Gachiku in 7th, just ahead of his teammate Brandon Badella, and then it's GSD, who is just ahead of James Walter, completing the top 10. Our front row for the sprint tomorrow is shared with Headley and to prove his act there in 11th and 12th. Then it's Leon in 13th, Stromstead in 14th, Ramos is ahead of Brad Benavides in 16th, and then it's Tim Kramanic in 17th. Roman Belinsky, the Polish driver, will go from 18th, and then it's Van Hoopen and Stenshorn, and then it's Solov in 21st. That is basically a big blow to any hopes he had of the championship. Behind is Dominguez in 22nd, then Moisen, Ho, Zagazeta, Lacorte, Delpino, Sharp, Johnson, and Marin Angeli complete the order. 30 great drivers ready to burst into some amazing racing come tomorrow's race.
Thanks for your company, Omi. Thanks for your company as well, Tom, and to all of you at home. We'll be back in around about 20 minutes' time for the F2 qualifying. Join us then. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.